All right, well, thanks everyone for joining us today on today's webinar. This is going to show you how to do a CMA in Matrix. We're going to, there's actually two different ways to get started to creating a CMA, and it's very similar to that in Fusion, if you've ever done a Fusion CMA in the old system that's going to be turned off here. Well, the first way, in a proper way, like I said, I like to do a different way. There's a better way that a more direct route that I like to do. So the first way, I'm just going to mention it to you and go through it rather quick, but then I'll start and show you the second way. So if you're taking notes and want to follow, take notes, start with the second way I do. But the first way is under My Matrix, My CMAs. Just like in Fusion, you would click on that Fusion tab for CMAs. Once you click on that, here are your existing CMAs, and down here is Start with the New CMA. So you click on that, and like I said, this is the proper way. You start with these tabs going across. If you've ever done it in Fusion or ML Exchange, the old system, you would notice that the wizard is just going up and down the left-hand side. Well, here we just have it going across the top. So the first part would you go in and pick your client, and we'll say Sam and Linda. And then you go to the second tab here, Pages, and you'll notice we have no pages over here. We could, and I'll discuss this with your MLS about putting some basic pages here, but even if we put some standard ones here that we think everyone would probably like to have, I still would encourage you to go in and look at both of the cover sheets that we have. Click on one, click on another, and pulls them over. And then we have more pages in here that you can click on, and as you do, pull them over. Now, watch this. Instead of clicking on each one individually, if you just hit the top part here, the title, pulls them all over. And like I said, we've got a ton of pages in here. And I think what I would recommend is just pulling them all over at first, and then once we get done, we'll look at them, and then we'll come back and take out the pages and reorder them as we see fit that you like them here. Okay, but we'll come back into this part again. You'll see this screen again. But then you go to subject, you go to cover, but when you come in this first way, the proper way, when you get to step 5, the comparables, there are no comps here. They're wanting us to add them from a listing search and then add from a cart here. Okay, so I just want to mention that there. So I don't like coming in this way, because now by the time I get to the most important part of my CMA, my comps, they're not here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you the second way, and this is the way I like to do it. And like I said, you could have done the same steps in Fusion. So my first step to doing a CMA is search. Let's search for our comps. Well, if this property that we have, going to do, and I'm just going to pick an area, guys. I'm not that familiar with Las Vegas area, even though I've been here several times. I'm just going to pick an area, but that's what I suggest, starting off with search. Searching for your comparable property. So the house for Sam and Linda that I have in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search, and everyone searches differently here. So I'm going to show you some basic fields that I like to search by that I've heard over the years across the country doing CMAs for people, but it's very, very specific to your location. So you guys, know this better, so much better than I do. Some people like to do active, contingent, and pending, along with solds, and that's fine. That's typically what I like to do. Some people don't do that. Some people only do solds, and that's fine too. There is no right or wrong reason to do a CMA. But for this example, I'm going to do active, contingent, and pending, because these are still on the market. They're still technically available because they haven't closed yet, so that's their competition. And I like to do solds within 6 months to show them what, how they want to end up. They want to look like these people. They want to sell their house, and we're going to see what they go for. Now I've got a pending date range of only pendings in the last 180 days. I'm actually just going to take that out. I'm going to make it blank because I just want any pendings that are still out there. And some people will even do expired listings. Show Sam and Linda what mistakes not to make, because if I pull down expired, so I can say, well, look, these people's houses didn't sell, they expired. I mean, do you want to end up like them? Well, look at their houses, look at their price range and stuff, and you'll see what not to do. Okay, I'm not going to do it in this example, but some people do that also. Okay. And then next, obviously, I think you want to be very specific on your property type. If it's single family, I think you want to search for single family. I think that just makes sense. And then here, attached or detached, I'm just going to assume this house is detached. Okay. I think doing a CMA is a perfect place to do a radius search of a property. I'm not going to do it in here in this class. I have done it in several of the other webinars and videos on how to draw shapes and all that stuff. So I don't want to kind of spend too much time on searching that way, but I think a CMA is a perfect place to use. I think anytime you're searching for listings, whether they're comps or just regular listings that you're searching for, I think the map search is always the best way to go. Okay, but without that, doing that, I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to say this house is in Spanish Trail. Okay. So I'm going to pick that. Now I don't personally like to do a price range, okay? Because I'm going to put in all my other criteria, and I'm going to have the results tell me what the price range is. But by all means, you might know the area really, really well and know the ballpark range of houses. But that's why I'm doing a CMA, because I want the system to tell me what the range is. Okay. Then I'm going to come down here to the bedrooms. If it's got 4 bedrooms, I'm going to do exactly 4 bedrooms. And as I do this here, you can look down here on my matches. I'm down to 15 matches here. Sometimes, though, you might have to work it. You might have to go, maybe a 1 above or 1 below that there. Okay. In fact, I'm going to see how many we get if I do 5. And remember, 5 means 5, not more or less. I could say, I'm going to say 4 to 5 in here. Okay. Square feet, I think, is a wonderful field. In fact, some people don't even do bedrooms. They just go straight to square feet and do it that way. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to say it's between 4,000. This is a nice area here, so I'm going to say between 4,000 and 5,000. And I got 6 matches here. Okay. And you could go down. There's just so many other fields. Year built. Come down here to the property description. I could say 1 story or 2 stories. I think that's great fields to do. But for now, I'm just kind of curious. Let me hit the results and see what kind of mixture I got. Okay. Well, I got several actives, 1 contingent, but only 2 solds here. So I might need to go back to my criteria here. And maybe what I could do is just, instead of 180 days, let's do 240 days. Go back a little bit farther just to see. Okay, it looks like I got another sold here. Now let's look at it and see what we get. Okay, and I did get another sold. Okay, so that's the first tip. When you're searching for your comps, you just kind of keep playing with the numbers back and forth, keep looking at the results, going back, making adjustments. Sometimes you might have to increase that or decrease it if you're getting too many there. Okay. So that's the first step, is searching for your comps and getting your results. And you can map it too, just to make sure they're all located together here. Okay, and they are. Okay. And then next, what I'm going to do is the next part, you need to pick your comps. You need to decide which ones you think are good. Okay. So as I showed in some of my other webinars, you can modify this grid up here. Okay, because you notice when I'm looking at actives, this price is current price. These are the current price, which is the list price. When I'm looking at solds, that is the sold price. So I can't really see what the listing price was on these solds, but I created my own grid, and I called it CMA Grid. So that way when I do CMAs, now I can see the original price, the last price it was, and the last list or the current listing price, and then what it closed for. So you notice on the, so watch one of our videos if you have questions on how I did this here, how I created my own. So this comes in hand when I'm doing my CMA. So I got a lot more stuff I can look at. So here on these actives, I can see they started at 850, okay, and it still never changed price, and now it went down to 799. This one never changed price. It was still the original price of 815. This one here on Sawgrass was 1.575, and now it's 1.45. Okay, and this contingent one is 825, now it's 800. Okay, but here you can see my solds, they started in the 700 range, 718, and then end up selling for that. So you can just get a good feel for stuff here. Okay, and also if I scroll over a little bit, you can also see that I took out total baths and I added full, half, and 3/4 baths in here too. So now I can see instead of total baths, which doesn't really tell me how many full or half or 3/4, now I can actually see here. Okay. So now you did the hardest part, you searched. Second hardest part is finding your comps. Now what you're going to do is decide on which comps you want. And since I only have, 7, I only have 3 sold, so I'm going to pick all 3 solds. And I like the comps or the actives. I'm just going to pick those 3 though. Okay, and I could have done 4. That's fine. I just like to do 3 and 3 of each. But I think the total for a CMA, or at least this full CMA I'm about to do, I think the total is either 20 or 30 comps in there. Now, before I do this CMA, I'm going to show you the quick CMA here. Now the quick CMA, I believe you can do a lot more than just 20 or 30. I think you can do a lot more than that. So if you pick the whole area of Spanish Trail, and you could have selected them all and done a quick CMA for all of those houses. Here I'm going to do a quick CMA, and should be very similar to Fusion's quick CMA. It's been a while since I've looked at Fusion's here, but this right here just allows me to look at it. You can see the active listings with the stats down below, the minimum, medium, and maximum, and average. And then if I come down, you can see the same thing on my solds down here too. Okay. I could print this off or save it as a PDF, but I'm just going to close it. If I want to email that to my client, you'll notice that when I clicked on the quick CMA, there is no email option. The only way here, but there is an option, so follow me. There's the only option here, let me move my thing down a little bit, is you can download it or print this off or download it as a PDF and then attach it, but I'll show you a way to email this here. Okay, so let me close that down. So if I wanted to email this to a person, after I select it, it's actually under the print button. Okay, I know it may not make a lot of sense. I want to email it, not print it, but it's under the print button. And then there's a quick CMA right here. Quick CMA option. I can print it off or I can email it to my client right here. Okay, and when I email it to my client, it'll just ask, who do you want to email this to? Maybe Sam and Linda. Okay, and call it quick CMA on your house and give it a title. They will get it when they open it up. They'll see that little PDF form, but this email is also on Sam and Linda's portal, so if they ever need to pull it back up again, it's also saved there too on that client's portal. Okay, and by the way, while we're here, here's a multi-map here, and let me preview this one. What that does, it puts all 6 houses on one list for you. If you come down here, here's the 6 houses. My 3 actives, 3 solds, and they're all numbered right here for me. Okay, and I can email that too also. In fact, I can hold down my control button and email both of those to my clients there. Okay, we don't have a multi-column report yet, where you have them side by side, because that's also a good one to do. And I wish that would have already been here. I think that one should have already been here, but that is something that's being worked on that will come. It's on our list to do. We're just getting ready for the cutover on Wednesday, so that's why it's not a priority just yet, but a multi-column report is on its way. Okay. But anyways, that's a quick CMA. Okay, so I've got my properties that I like. I want to go in and do the full CMA. So I'm going to click on the CMA here. And remember this step, remember all these steps up here? You're going to see where it just saved me some time. Now it's going to ask me to pick my contact. We can come down here and pick Sam and Linda. Could give it a description. And it's also, please note, this CMA will be saved for 180 days from the last modified dates. Okay. Modify the CMA before the end of the 180-day period or save it as a copy on your computer, okay, and it says here you should do that anyway, just as a backup here, okay, and that's what, and this is exactly the same thing was in Fusion. We only kept it for a certain amount of period. I believe it was the same 180 days, and if you did not make any changes to it, it would just purge it after that, get rid of it, okay, but as long as you keep making modifications, it'll keep extending it for another 180 days, and after I do this, I'll show you how to do that, okay. So it's for Sam and Linda. Second tab is those pages. We kind of already talked about this a little bit here. So like I said, just pick on each category title and pull them all over just for now, just to see what they look like, okay? After we look at them, you'll be able to come down here and highlight one and take it out, move them up and down the list. And then once you're happy with it, you'll be able to set the default. And so whatever pages you like, you won't have to go through this every time. You'll just save it as a default and it'll be ready for you. Now, something you could do in Fusion, I don't think you could have done this in ML Exchange, the older system. But in Fusion, and I don't know if you knew this in Fusion, but you could upload your own pages here. So if you've got your own cover sheet or title page or cover letter and you like it better than our cover sheets, you can hit custom upload custom pages, choose your file, and I would encourage you to do this. So you know, your company or you might have a nice looking, professionally looking cover sheet, you know, with your graphics and your company's header and banner and stuff on there. Upload it, choose it, and then hit the upload button here. Okay, it has to be a PDF file. Okay, so I'm going to hit cancel. So upload your own. And then once you upload your own, it'll be over here, and then you might drop it to the bottom, but then just like I said, when you click on one, you can move it up and put it where you like it. I'm going to put that back down here at the bottom. So put your title page or cover sheet at the top, and whatever pages you have, just add them wherever you like in here, okay? But I'm just going to leave ours that we have. And like I said, once I get to the finish, I'll be able to preview these, and we'll come back to the pages and start taking these out. And I've been told, I haven't seen it yet, but I've been told that right now, I wish there was a way I could click on that one and hit preview and see what it looks like, or and click on that one and hit preview and see what it looks like. I've been told we're working on putting a preview window here, but right now the only way to preview is actually go to the final finish, finish right here, and then look at them all that way, okay? So that'll be nice little improvement once we get there. After that, you go to the subject page. Now, the subject page, I think, is important to do. You want to fill out information about the subject property, including a picture, because this will show up on when you get your side-by-side views inside the CMA. So I think you're going to want to have that so you can see their house and see the comps right next to each other side by side here. So if you leave this blank, that first column will be blank also. So now you can type those fields in manually, okay? And sometimes you might have to do this. You just click on it and then go down your list here and start typing in all the beds and baths, add a photo of the property, and all kinds of stuff here. And then you can add your own custom fields in here, okay? Let me go back here. Or if it had been listed before, what you could do is do a enter the MLS number and then hit fill. Or you can enter tax matrix unique ID. I guess you can do a tax like a parcel number. I think that's what that's talking about there. There is a tax record to autofill. I'm not sure. Okay, it looks like it is working. I didn't think this was working yet. So real quick here, let me see if I can add a property from community name of Spanish Trail. Let's see if I wasn't sure if this was working yet. So let me hit results here. I just want to see. I'm just going to find one here. And let's go back. Let me put a check mark here and then fill from selected. Okay, I didn't think that was working yet, but yeah, you can auto-populate in there, okay, from the tax records. Okay, so I think that's cool. Okay, so instead of typing in it manually, that tax it will get you started in there. Okay, but I'm going to hit this manually entered. Okay, and you know what, I'll just leave that address in there. I'll just pretend that's the address and pretend that's the zip code for Spanish Trail, just so I don't have to type all that in. And then I'll just type in you know, Las Vegas and state is Nevada. Okay, and we'll say it's got 4 bedrooms, 3 full baths, 2 half baths, building description, 1 story or 2 story, we'll say. This I really don't know. I'm just making something up so it doesn't look blank. Scrolling down, fireplaces, garages. We'll say it's got a 3-car garage, year built, private pool, square feet. Okay, in fact, let me make this a little more reasonable. We'll make it 4,500 square feet. 4,500 square feet. And the reason why I'm doing this, I just want it to look nice when I go to my, when I show you. Now look at this, the custom fields, okay? We pull the fields over from the MLS, but some things such as, let's say landscape or curb appeal, okay? I'm gonna make up a brand new one. I could pick a field that is in the MLS that it just didn't populate, okay? Whatever you think it is, that would be good. But you can also just type in your own, make up your own field, such as curb appeal or location. And let me do location. I think location might be a good one there. Okay, and when I do location, then I can say on a cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac. Okay, or let me say this one is on a busy road. How about that? Busy road. Okay, and I can still do that curb appeal here. Curb appeal. Okay, curb appeal, and let's say they've added you know, couple $1,000 improvement. Okay, improvements. So I want to give them credit for this. You know, they've really worked hard. They've really took out a lot of stuff in their you know, in their front yard and to make it look nice and everything. So I want to let them know that I noticed that because it looks just awesome. From they painted it and all that good stuff there. And if I like these fields that I customized and I typed it in, what I could do is I could save it as a custom, these custom fields as a default, and that means I don't have to do that again. Okay, these will always be my fields that I have in here. So I think that's kind of a nice feature there. And then of course, let me hit locate here. We'll see, I know Spanish Trail is right over in here. And even though I'm not from Las Vegas, I do know where the nice locations are here. So what I'm going to say is this, we'll just place the pin right, I don't know, I'm just picking it there. I know it's not actually the proper one there, but, and then I can hit browse, and let's say I have a picture of the house, and I just got some silly pictures here of some nice properties. I know that's not Spanish Trail, but we'll say that's the picture of their house. Okay. Yeah, doesn't look like Vegas. So, but anyways, I just wanted something in there just to show you how to add those stuff there. Okay, but that's the subject page. Okay, Then we'll go to the cover sheet. Cover sheet will have a picture of their house if you have one. It'll have my information here, which I could go in and edit and type in, 1750 East Sahara. I could, and Sahara Drive, is it, or Boulevard? I'm going to say Boulevard. I'm not sure. Okay. And then I'll do Las Vegas, Nevada, 89012. I'll just say, okay. And then I'll hit save. Then I'll go to portal information. Oh, that's what I did when I when I did that, when I hit edit my information, it took me into my information tab. Okay, so here just takes me back to my CMA where I was at. Now Sam and Linda's. Well, I don't have an address for them, so 1, 2, 3, 4 Maple Lane. We'll say Maple Lane. We'll say they're in Henderson. Oh, wait a minute, they're selling their house. Yeah, that's right, they're in Spanish Trail. So Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll say 89045. I don't know. Okay, and then you go to comparable. So far, I think this is kind of straightforward here. Just been going down this list here. Here's our comps. Now, remember when I first came in that first way, the comps weren't here. So that's the step that saved me. Now I don't have to go and add comps. It's already here for me. Okay. Now I could go in and select one and remove it, or I could add more from a search, but I think that's something you're going to do later, because right now I've already picked those comps, so I should be already satisfied. I shouldn't want to get rid of something. Now I can if I want to, but when you come back in weeks later, months later, this is where you're going to be able to come in and keep it fresh and add and remove some here. Okay, so I'll come back to this part again later. Next is a map. It's going to map everything, so you can see my subject property there, and here's all the comps over here. And if I scroll down, you can see, oh, they're right here. They're all listed right here for me. Adjustments. Now, I don't like making adjustments. I'm not an appraiser, so I don't like doing this, but I will show you how to do that if you want to. So, for example, bedrooms. You notice my house or their house, Sam and Linda's house, has 4 bedrooms. Well, some of them, a couple of them here have 5 bedrooms. So I could put in a value here of, I don't know how much a bedroom is, and these are probably almost $1 million property. So maybe, $20,000 per room. And as soon as you do that, look what it did to the ones that didn't have 4 bedrooms. Those all stayed the same, so it decreased those by $20,000 per room because, okay, so you can see that there. And so if I increase that, change that to maybe 30,000, to 30,000, you'll notice it just changes this here. So that's kind of a cool feature there. But I can still go in individually and say, well, this one here, for whatever reason, I want to make it 35,000. Okay. And like I said, I have no idea on these prices here, so please, you're going to have to do that. I recommend leaving them blank. Okay. Unless you really feel comfortable doing that. But here's your some of your fields where you can just go in and type in what you like here. Okay, fireplaces, flooring, garage, house views, lot description, year built, square footage, price per square foot there. Okay, notice the last 2 here, location and curb appeal, those were what I typed in here. So on this one here, maybe it's on a quiet street. Okay, quiet street. Okay, well that might be worth more money, where this is on a busy road and might not be as good here, and so forth like this. Okay, so you can just go down this list, and then the curb appeal. Well, maybe this one's average. Nothing special about it. Maybe this one's in poor shape. They just neglected it and stuff. Where this one is pretty good. Okay, pretty good shape there. So I just put in some tangibles, intangibles here that are, kind of not a field in the system. Okay. And then pricing. Pricing here. You can see my lowest one, and it shows me my after adjustment price. So it recalculates my low, median, average, and high price here after I make my pricing adjustments here. And you notice my subject property, I didn't have a price per square feet here. So what I could do, if I noticed that, I could go back to my subject property, scroll down to, you know what, I did have it in there. I did have my square feet, and they did change there. Let me make sure they're the same here, 5,000. Okay, so let me see that message getting under pricing here. This selection provides additional comparables, cannot calculate price based on approximate living. There is insufficient information. I'll have to look at that. I'm not sure why that is not giving me on there. Okay, I'll look at that one later. And then price right here. This suggested price, this is just telling you that you need to type something in here. So if you just click in there, let me show you something here, and let me just confirm that it does work. If I just type in a dollar amount, we'll say $7.99 and $900 right there. I think you're going to see one of our pages. It'll actually display this here. Notes here, you can come down and say, you know, I think this price is good because of blah blah blah. Okay, and you can explain how you came up with that price there. Okay, so I'll just mention that. Okay, yeah, I see your message here, Diane. There are living area and additional living area, total living area. Maybe back on that pricing one, that might be true, Diane, why it didn't calculate it properly. Maybe on that subject page, maybe we didn't pull over the right fields in here. So yeah, we'll look at that. Thanks, Diane. We'll look at that and see if I can get that on here. Okay, but look, in this top one, even though it said type in a paragraph here, I'm going to leave it just as a dollar amount here. Okay, now my notes, I actually type something in because when I look at my page, I want to show it to you. I'm going to go to finish. Okay, and here's all my pages. There's my subject property. I can view the CMA. I can email it. And if I scroll down, I've got my comps here. Okay, so when I hit view CMA, it's going to take a minute because I have several pages. I've added all those pages in there. So we'll give it a second to pull up here. And then we'll just do a quick recap. Okay, remember we had back here on, if I go back to pages, remember I had two pages, that cover sheet and that cover sheet. So if I just toggle back and forth, that's the first cover sheet. If I scroll down, here's the second one. So I kind of like the second one better than the first. So what I'm going to do is take out that first one here and leave the second one in there. Now remember, if you uploaded your own, you could get rid of both of these and just use ours. Okay, so the next page is a summary list. Well, let's take a look at the next page, summary list. Okay, kind of like that one. It shows the actives, the solds, and then it totals them down here. So I like that one. Let's go to the pricing adjustment. So this is how I would preview it as a suggestion. So now you can see their house versus the first two comps, and then they could scroll down and see the next, their house versus the next two comps, and then their house versus the last two comps. Okay, and that's why I think you should do your subject property, fill it in. If not, that would have been blank here, and it wouldn't have looked as professional here. So here I like the pricing adjustments one. Next one is the minimums and maximums page. So if I go down this field, this will just show us out of all those houses, the lowest price is that, and the highest price is that, lowest and the highest, bedrooms, bathrooms, stuff. I don't know if I'm really crazy about this one, so I might go back and just take that one out. And now we're on days on market. If I go down this list here, days on market, you can see here's all the list here. You can see that keeps jumping to the days on market based on the house I have here, and that's not bad. I still might take that one out though. Then we have the list price, sale price chart. So let's see what this one is. Based on those 6 houses, here's the list price. Now if it's sold, so the last 3 sold, they actually have a sold price, a list price and a sale price. So you can see that one MLS number was really, really high. And maybe I shouldn't have picked that comp because it's just outrageously high for whatever reason. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve to be listed that high. I'm just saying maybe it wasn't a good comp for me to pick because it's so out of the same league here. So I kind of like that page. And the next one is the brief summary, compared listings. I think that's almost a recap of that one page, but this one only shows the solds where the other one showed both. So maybe I get rid of this one, the brief summary. Okay, get rid of that one. Next one is a pro report. Let's look at that one. Here we go. This just gives a little thumbnail of each house. Here's the 3 actives. There's the 3 sold. So yeah, I kind of like that one. Kind of talks about it, has the remarks in there. Next we got the CMA Pro report here where it shows the 3 actives and it gives some prices there. I kind of like that one. It's more graphical natured, so I like that one. Here's the pricing recommendations. Here's that one page. Remember I typed in that price, and let's see how it looks here. Okay, there's so the Pro report is actually several pages, okay, which I kind of like that one there. Well, actually gives another one here. Okay, so the Pro report is several pages. Pricing recommendation. We do have this generic message up here that kind of explains this. Here's their selling price. Here's their average price per square feet there. Okay. Down here it says after analyzing. Let me zoom in on this a little bit here. Okay. Remember in that box I only typed in the dollar amounts. And I said recommend price $799.9. If I had typed in a message there, it would have expanded it a little more. And then here you can see where I typed in, I think this price is good because of. So in the summary, we do throw this part in automatically here. And you can see it ends with the amount I typed in, and then my notes go in right below that there. Okay. So that's how that looks, just an FYI there. I do like this. I think it's very similar to what you had in Fusion for the most part here. Now these next ones here, it talks about activity versus timing. Okay, so these are what we call static pages. So if you go back here, remember these static pages here, activity versus timing, and all these other ones all the way down to the map one. These are static. They never change. They say the same thing over and over. I think several of these are very, very good to do. I don't think you're going to use them all though. Okay, so so some of them kind of say the same thing but in a different format or a different picture here. So you could use that one because you can explain to Sam and Linda. The longer your house sits on the market, the less activity you'll have on here. So you want to price it right from the get-go because that way we're going to get the most eyes looking at it. As it sits and sits and sits, and then not as many people will look at it there. And we also have the effective overpricing. Same thing here. The longer it sits on the market, the more we're going to have to come off of that listing price. Okay, and that just kind of explains it graphically. Here again, though, it's saying the same thing over and over, but in a different way. I like this one, the benefits of using a professional realtor. Okay, that one I might want to move up in my order, put it near the top. So if I go back here and I pick the benefits of using a realtor, maybe put that right after my cover sheet and explain why they want to work with me. There's that importance of pricing. Oh, wait a minute, I haven't gotten there. The effective overpricing. Maybe I get rid of that one because I have that activity one in there. Okay. The next page after that, market analysis. This is why I'm doing a CMA for you. Let me explain it to you. I think these are pretty well written from what I remember. So, so I might want to move that one up also right next to that importance of using a realtor. Setting the price. The rest of these I'll kind of go through quick. the importance of pricing. See there again, it's graphical, explains it, setting the price, but they don't change. They say the same thing. So pick the ones that you like. Read all these here and see which ones you think are good. Source, where your buyers come from. I will say this is an older percentage. I think it goes back to 2010 here. I think we need, 2009. I do think we need to update that charts there. Okay, but several pages, you guys, several pages, and then the last one is that map here. So what I could do, maybe the map one I'll pick and move up in the order. Okay. And some of these other ones, I will just hold down the control button and take out. Now, once you've got it the way you like it, you moved it up in order, you added your own custom pages, set it as your default, and you won't have to do that again and again out there. So hope that makes sense there. And Nate, you had a quick question. I know wasn't going to open up for questions, but we are almost done. On the adjustment tab, can we add 3/4 baths or total baths? Yes, you can. It's not complete accurate info. Yeah, I agree with that there. Will the cloud CMA transfer to matrix system? I think, Lisa, the cloud CMA is its own system. So I think everything there is going to be fine. I don't know for sure, but I would assume so because it's a third party CMA. How do I create a contact list for CMA? Well, Nikki, contact list, all I'm doing here is you just add whoever's in your contact list here will be available for your CMAs. So that's how you do that. So when I did Sam and Linda on my start page, they were in my contact list. They're the same people that were here in contacts. And when I come in here, if I was doing this for someone that's not in this list, I can add them right here. Okay. Make sure you save it. It does have an auto save right here, but just hit save again just to confirm it here. And then when you're done, under My Matrix, My CMAs, you're going to notice that your one for Sam and Linda's right here. Now I actually had two. I actually had the one when I first got started in here. Remember I showed you step one and I got started? Well, that's what this one is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually select that one and delete it. Okay. But let's say, and why didn't it delete it? Should have deleted it. Okay, there we go. Now let's say weeks go by, months go by, and I just kind of want to freshen that up because remember, after 180 days, I will lose that CMA. Here is how easy it is to extend it for another 180 days. You go to My Matrix, My CMAs, or you could go to Contacts and go to Sam and Linda Jackson and click on CMAs this way too. Either way it would work. Then you could click on their CMA and you can see their house and all that information and then hit Edit CMA. And then all you have to do is hit the Save button, and then when you come back out and you go to CMAs again, you'll notice, and I'm on the same day right here. Okay, so look at this one here for Ben Jackson. I did this back in March of this year. So in 180 days, it's been there for almost 3 months. Watch this. Look at the last modified dates. If I click on it and I say Edit CMA, and then I hit Save. Now look at my save date right here, March 31st. If I hit Save, now it's updated with today's date. So now when I go back to My CMAs, it's extended. The last modified date was today. So from this moment forward, I get another 180 days. So I just extended it there, okay? That's all you have to do to extend them. But I think what you're going to want to do is modify them, keep it fresh, add some new comps, take out some old comps. So to do that, just click on that search or that CMA, go to Edit CMA, and then go to Comparables, and then what you're going to do, and now remember this will be 2-3 months later, you're going to click on Add from Listings, and you're going to do your search, and in 3-4 months from now, you're going to have new comps in here. And look, it's not showing me the same 6 that I still have in my list. It's excluding the ones I already have in my list. So it's only showing me new ones right here, okay? Where Fusion would show you all 6 too, and you're like, well, wait a second, did I already have that one in my list or not? I'm not sure. This right here filters out those ones you already have in your list. So now you could say, ooh, let me use that one. Let me pick that one and add that to my list, and then let me take out that 1.45 million one here and remove that one, and it keeps it fresh, okay? So I think that's very, very nice to do. And if I had thrown comps into a cart for Sam and Linda, I could go in here real quick, because maybe as I was doing searches in the past, I saw a neat house that was looking just like Sam and Linda's, and then I just threw it in their carts. So that's another reason why you could use a cart, is for comps as you find them. So it's like bookmarking them, if you will. So if I go back into Sam and Linda's carts, which I don't have one for, okay, I didn't have any in there, okay. I think that's pretty much on the CMAs. Let's see the questions I got here. Bonnie, you said, how did the comparables become part of the presentation? Followed your steps the second way. What did you hit it? If that makes sense. I think so. And Deborah, how do you print it out? Yeah, let me show you that one too, Deborah, just a second here. So yeah, Bonnie, what I did, remember my steps? First step, go to search. Pick your statuses. Let me get rid of this box here. I threw in all my property types, so I'm just going to pick Anthem for now. I go to results. I started picking them. Remember, I picked the 6 that I had. Remember, I had 3 solds, 3 actives, and I had that contingent that I didn't pick. Once I did that, I hit this button right here, CMA. And it took them and threw it right into my list. See, my first one was pick your client. Second one was pages. Okay, and that's when I started adding the pages here. And then by the time I got the comparables, they were already there. Remember that? Okay, hopefully that answers that part there. And then Deborah, I think it was. To print it, just go to Finish tab. You could view it, or you could email it to your client. Okay, it may not be a bad idea to email to them, but you can view it, and when you view it, you're opening it up in a PDF format, and then you're using PDF. There's a print button up here at the very top. The webinar thing might be blocking it, but there is a print button up there. Okay, so that's how you print that there. Let's see here. I can't get my question box back open. View, there we go, questions. So Deborah, I hope that makes sense there. Talon, can you show your CMA grid from originally searching the subject property comps, and how do you save as PDF? Karen, when I just showed you that, the save as a PDF, right here, it's just when I hit view CMA, it opens it up in a PDF. In your computer, it might be blocking it, but there is a save option up here at the very top right next to the print, so you can either print it or save it. So they're both up there. Do the CMAs also show up under save searches? No, they do not, Ann. They only show up under the CMA part there, so no. And that was the same as in Fusion. Fusion, they didn't show up unless you saved it separately. So Ann and Talon, I'll answer your question here in just a second. Remember how I started my search? I started with residential, and I did all my criteria, and I said solds and stuff, and then I picked, like, let's say Anthem or Anthem. And I go to my results. I could have saved it. I could have saved it as a new save search as a CMA, but I really didn't have to, okay? Because by me hitting that, me selecting the houses, and then me hitting the CMA button, it puts it, it's not a save search, but it did save the search criteria that I used, but it's not under the save searches there, okay? Same thing as in Fusion. You could have saved that search or just did like I just did here, and it wouldn't have been there either, okay? Can you show your CMA grid? Yeah, and what you're talking about there was when I did my search, Here, let me pull up my recent searches here. You're talking about this CMA grid here. Yes. Can you show your grid from originally searching the subject property comps? What I did, and maybe I'm missing your question here, Talon, when I did my search, single family, detached, and I picked my area, remember, when I first go to results, it defaults to that agent single line. I had created my own CMA grid, and that's what I chose from. So if you want to know how to create your own CMA grid, watch one of those videos. I've got a short, very short video, 5 minutes long I think it is, and it walks you through on how to set that up. So please watch that there, and that's how, I think that was your question. How did I set that up? I already had it set up. I just picked from it. Okay. And Gene, definition of comp sold only. Yeah, a lot of people will only do solds for their comps or for their CMAs, and that's fine. When I do comps, I like to show actives too because that's their competition. How quickly will this lesson be posted? I really need to go back. Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm hoping by the end of the day, because I know we got the weekend coming up. If not, may not be until Tuesday out there, but I'm saving this now, so hopefully we can get this out there. So yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, well, thanks you guys for your attendance, and please watch for these videos under the Home tab, under Matrix Videos. Okay, we'll post this as soon as we can, and they're also going to be under the Help tab, and Matrix Video Tutorials. We'll add it in here too. Okay.